so this is a quick tutorial on how to build that kind of style of tropical island in the water. That was my favorite one of the three there. So basically, this is World Painter. Basically, all you got to do to get it is you Google World Painter, you click the links, you download it, and it's its own file. It's its own program. It's not a mod to Minecraft or anything like that. So it's not, you don't have to install it into Minecraft or anything like that. So it's super easy to install. So this is what you'll have if you just open up the program. Up here, you'll want to go to File and then New World. I'm going to call it Example for Video. I am going to up the dimension to 1024, and then I'm also going to change it to Circular World. I think Circular World is neat for, I can't believe I just said neat. I think it's pretty cool for showcasing kind of just, whatever you can do. It's just kind of like its own little disk of the world, So I think that's pretty easy to work with. So I'm going to do Circular World. I'm going to move the hill height down, and what that's going to do, actually no, I'm going to leave the hill height where it is. I'm going to move the water level up. And so as you can see on the right there, that is moving the water, the default Minecraft level water up to 80. So what that did was kind of erase those little, erase the land and eventually had islands, and then it eventually erased the islands as well. So basically what we have here is a kind of hilly underwater area, but it is an ocean. So I'm actually going to raise this up even more, so it's kind of more of a deeper ocean. So let's go to 90. That looks good. So we'll leave the rest. The lava, you can switch it to lava. That's what I did for the nether world. The beaches, I mean, doesn't matter because it's all underwater. So let's leave beaches on. It'll have little patches of sand underwater and stuff like that. And then the surface material you can change to basically almost anything kind of ground-based. You can do any of the rocks. Nether-like will actually, come on, give me a description. I guess it's not. You can do almost any of the clays, but nether-like, it's like it'll do little pockets of lava. It'll do netherrack, soul sand, glowstone. It'll actually like kind of disperse them as it would in the nether. Beaches will do the kind of the same thing, but beach-related, obviously. I think there's another. Yeah, stone mix will do random mix of the stone. Red desert will have cactuses and red sand and clay and stuff like that. So you can do all these kind of cool presets, but we'll just leave it. Let's just leave it as sand actually, because that'll be all underwater. So let's leave it as sand. Or should we do gravel? No, let's leave it as grass actually, because our islands are going to be grass, and so let's leave it as that. So advanced and extended block IDs, I don't want to mess with those. We're going to leave it as an ocean because it doesn't really matter, but you can click this and just randomize your seed. So that doesn't really matter because it's all going to be underwater, so let's just leave it as ocean. And then we'll hit create. So we have our disk here, perfectly circular as far as Minecraft standards go. It's just a randomly bumpy underwater area. So what you want to do is click my favorite tool here, the height, raise or lower the terrain, and then you'll get a little brush here. If you scroll in and out, that'll change the size. And then over here on the top right, you'll have brushes. My favorite brush, basically the only brush I actually use is the noise brush. So that'll change your brush to the square thing. Don't worry, it's not actually square shaped. And then the basics of World Painter is left click, with this tool at least, left click raises a terrain. Oh, it's very slow. And then right click lowers the terrain again. And basically what this brush does is it doesn't make it an exact circle. So you don't want exact circles in your build because that looks kind of ugly, so we're just going to undo that. So as you can see, it's kind of making this bumpy looking mountain range. So if I just left click, and if you wanted to make it go faster, you can up the intensity. And so if I put it to like 75% or 79, that works too, it'll go a little bit faster. And so that is actually helpful here because our water is actually pretty deep here. So let's just kind of start molding our world here. You got to think of this as kind of like clay. Let's actually up to 100%. Let's just make this go faster. There we go. You got to think of it as clay. So you can kind of just mush it in whatever shape you want. I actually don't really like how that looks. Let's just start over here. I want to do kind of a central island, but with a bunch of cool bays and maybe a couple of offshoots like this. So let's do that. I like these little islands that kind of just pop up randomly too. That's all thanks to the. There we go. I like that. That's all thanks to the noise brush up here. So let's just keep on going over here. We'll do a little kind of like protecting island chain here. And most of this stuff is all kind of just random, obviously. So I'm just going to leave it for the most part. I'm going to do, let's do a big like volcano over here. So let's just do kind of a big circular island over here. Here we go. And we'll just kind of dot the rest of it with little islands of their own. There we go. So I think that looks pretty good. We'll have it kind of like forming like they almost connected at one point. So let's zoom back out and see what we have here. So that looks pretty cool. Maybe you want to connect some of these up some more. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. They look too small. So let's just do one more big kind of chain up here, or big island up here. That looks good. All right. So there is our world. That looks pretty cool already. And if you're logged into Minecraft, I'm sure this would be a pretty interesting world, but there's a lot more to do. So this was the island I said I was going to do a volcano on. So let's zoom in even further on it. So what you want to do for a volcano is you want to start with your, at least this style of a volcano. There are many styles of volcano. Obviously, this is just my tip. So you have your cursor about the same size as the island here. You want to left click, and as you're left clicking, you want to zoom in. And so the cursor area gets smaller and smaller. So what that does, it'll peak the mountain more and more. And then as you get to the top, you're going to want to right click and hold it for a little bit and then zoom out slowly. So that'll get that crater in the top of the volcano. You slowly want to zoom out. Oh, actually I have a little water at the bottom there. So let's actually raise that a little more. And then we'll go to the flatten tool. Actually no, we'll go to the smooth tool. And we'll smooth this whole island out. Alright, so one of my favorite features of this program is the way to view it basically from an isometric or angled view. You can do Control 3, or you can go to View and then go down to Show 3D View. And then what this does, it pops up a window here. Let me just make sure that's, yep, okay, that's picking it up. So there is our volcano here. I actually don't like how it looks. It's too mountainy. You can't really tell that there's a pit in there. But here's the rest of our islands. Those look pretty cool so far. So these random bumps is what the noise brush will get you. So let's actually rotate and see what that looks like from other sides. Yeah, so I wanna kind of adjust this. And one thing you can do is lock this and kind of just put it off to the side. And then as you're messing around here, I'm actually gonna do the flatten tool. If you click it, oh, I don't want the intensity up that high either. So let's move the intensity down. You can actually it live updates essentially what you're doing. Let's change the brush. So I just want to flatten. Oh, man, okay, this is really messed up actually. Oh, too big. I'm flattening it still. Oops. Let's undo all that. Go back to raise. There we go. Okay, that's what I want. So actually, I'm going to kind of like move in smaller circles too while I'm doing this. And I'm actually going to re-up the intensity. This is all kind of just messing with it, obviously. Basically what I'm doing. There's no like clear-cut way to do a volcano. Obviously, you kind of just got to mess around until you like what you see. So I'm going to keep doing this area here. Kind of big circles, and then slowly zooming in with my cursor and making the circle smaller, and then kind of just stop and let's see what we have here. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's peek it just slightly, a little bit more. Okay, that's actually at the world height, so that is a perfect place to stop. Let's zoom in here, or like actually keep it here, and then let's do the crater at the top. Okay, that looks like a volcano. That looks pretty dang good. So I am happy with that. So obviously you just want to keep messing around with it until you get with something that you like. That looks pretty dang cool to me. I like how it kind of just super steep and then it slopes again, almost like you could do, like, I'm just getting ideas for buildings just now. Like I could do a little ring, like some buildings up here, or maybe just like decorate the mountain to look even cooler. Maybe have a little forest up here or something like that. So that is awesome. So I'm going to close this window. And there we go. We have our volcano done. And a way to do lava is up here. We have a lava flood an area with lava. And so I'm going to zoom in again. And in our volcano here, I'm just going to kind of click to the... that happens every once in a while. So I accidentally filled the entire world with lava. So we're just going to click undo. That is up here. So we have a little bit of lava in there, but basically what you want to do is you want to click all the way to the edge as much as you can. Yeah, so that was a mistake. So there's a somewhere like right here, if you can see where my cursor is, that actually spills out, and so I'm going to undo that because it thinks the area that I clicked is also the area everywhere else. So I'm actually going to quickly raise that little section. There we go, and I'm going to do the lava tool again. I just want to get this volcano as full of lava as possible without doing that. Okay, so yeah, never mind. That's just how it's going to be. So we can go back and fill this rest of this by hand, but I think that is actually going to look pretty cool. So maybe we can see what that looks like. Yeah, so that looks pretty cool. That's a good height. That's a good height for the lava. All right, so zooming out again. One quick thing that'll make this lava or this volcano look even cooler is I'm going to go back to this brush. I'm going to go to the spray paint tool, and I'm going to go to terrain, and I'm going to choose let's say bare stone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, there we go. So I'm going to zoom pretty far out. I'm going to change the intensity to 50%. I'm going to encompass basically the entire volcano. I'm going to left click one time. As you can see, that kind of, I'm actually do it one more time. So what that did is it changed 50, every time I clicked, it changed 50% of the stuff in this random pattern here to stone. And so if we take a look at that, that is what it looks like. And so the top part of the volcano is mostly stone. Now, obviously, you don't want grass up there. And it slowly kind of trickles down to less and less stone as you get towards the bottom. So we're actually going to do a little bit more stone. There we go. Make it look even more barren. I'm actually going to leave this here. So there we go. That is a good-looking volcano, if you ask me. So I think we're going to actually be done with it this time. So let's move on. Oops. There we go. We'll just leave that. No, we'll close that. We're done with the volcano. At least I think. You never know. You can always come back and change stuff. We're going to go back to the raise and lower tool, and we're going to just randomly raise some of these mountains. Kind of maybe have a mountain range here on this island, kind of separating the left side from the right side. I mean, you can always come up with these cool stories of whatever you want, basically. I'm actually going to undo that. That looked pretty bad on the left side there. So let's just do a little mountain range here. You can always come up with like little stories of like nation. You can put little ideas for nations and stuff. I'm going to scroll in now and make these mountains a little more pointy at the top, a little more peaky. Maybe have like one big point like right here. That would look pretty cool. And then again, we can do Control 3. There you go. That looks pretty good. One more thing that's pretty easy to do and makes your build a lot better is this smooth tool. I'm going to make a big radius. I'm going to do lower intensity, and I'm just going to smooth it. And then I'm going to go back to this, and those mountains look a lot better. So those look more natural. After you smooth them down, they look a lot more natural. There you go. That is a pretty good mountain range right there. Now, one of my favorite things to do is we are going to make this a jungle, tropical area. So what you want to do is come down to the left here and click on biomes. And then we're going to scroll to jungle. I think this is jungle? No, that's savanna. Where's jungle? There it is, jungle. One with the jungle trees on it. So what you want to do is zoom out all the way. And I'm going to do this all-encompassing perfect circle brush. And I'm going to make the intensity 100%. And what this does, also you want to go to the spray tool. I'm going to make, oh, no, come on, there we go. Everything is going to be a jungle biome. So what that'll do is that'll change the color of the water or the grass depending on like what texture packs and stuff you have installed. Oh, the intensity went down. Oh, 100%. You want it all to be jungle biome. I do at least. So that's all jungle biome. Let's switch back to terrain. This is another really cool thing. So we're going to keep, we're going to move the intensity down. Can I unshow this? I guess not. Oh well, we'll just leave it like that. So you can still see the terrain underneath. So we're going to go back to our noise brush, and we're going to go to, no, not terrain, layers, and we're going to go down to jungle. And what you want to do is you don't want to click the check marks, you want to actually click on the button here. So jungle creates a jungle. Oh, there we go. That's a lot easier to see, actually. So we have our noise brush, we have our intensity about 50%, and we have jungle equipped, and we have the spray tool. So what this is going to do is it's going to actually spray, basically, jungle trees onto the area you have selected. I don't think it'll go into the water, but if you just do this, and you can hold it down for longer for more lush jungles, less spotty jungles. And this will be experimental for you. The first time I ever made that world, there was actually not enough jungle stuff. I actually didn't have the intensity high enough, and so there was like bushes instead of actual jungle trees. So I went back and I upped the intensity, and it looked a lot better. The trees actually sprouted up, and it looked pretty good. So basically, I'm just going to do this on all the little islands. I don't think it matters that you're getting into the ocean. And then on the volcano, I'm going to go kind of around the outside of the stone area because I don't want jungle trees popping up on the stone. I mean, it could be okay to have a few, and we're actually going to do like really low intensity, just right on top there. That might actually be too intense. Too intense. Let's go down to like 15% and just do one click. Hopefully there'll be a couple of cool like bushes scattered around on the volcano. I don't think those will show up on the F3. Yeah, it'll just show the terrain. You kind of see the jungle tree outline there, but it won't actually show the trees until you actually load up the world, which is fine. That'll take some getting used to and stuff like that, so you'll have to experiment with that. Let's just finish here. Let's go back to 50. Yeah, that works. And finish doing the rest of these islands. Alright, and so now for something that makes these islands really pop is I want to do spray. We're going to do the perfect circle. We're going to do 100% intensity, and we're going to go back to terrain, and we're going to click sand or bare sand. Actually, is there a beach? What should we do? Let's do sand. Yeah, let's do sand. Let's just do sand. So this is actually going to take a while, so I'm going to skip this part. But let's just do this main island quick. So I want to do a smaller brush, and I want to kind of go around and see. You can follow this one line around the outside and just left click, and that will change the edge to a beach. That is a pretty easy thing to do. You just want to go around, maybe following those contour lines if you want, and outline all of your islands with sand. And you can kind of do varying, depths, and you can maybe do a big beach like this, encompassing those lakes, and then keep on going all the way around. You can do thicker or thinner beaches wherever you want. And then it's important to like release your left click every once in a while, so if you want to undo something, you don't have to undo everything. So that is something I learned. Maybe do a bigger beach there because it's kind of an inlet. Maybe all of this could be beach. There we go. A little bit more there. You just want to be careful of not going up these contour lines too much, because otherwise your beach would be really kind of tall and pointing up the hill. You don't really want that. Like right there, I could already tell. You can kind of see how this goes up pretty quickly there, so I'm actually going to do a really thin beach here. I don't want my beach to be very slanted because that looks bad. From experience in Minecraft actual, like for real generation, looks pretty bad. And I did it again. God dang it. So that's, didn't want to redo all that, so I'm going to let go of my left click every once in a while, more often. So it might be thin at places, but it might not all be a beach around the outside. And then you could even do this entire island to be a beach. Oops. Maybe like this whole thing could be a beach, stuff like that. So, you never know. You can do whatever you want. And then obviously, if you load up the world, which I'll show you how to do at the end, you can change these and make them look however you want at the end. You can come back in here, edit the world, and then regenerate it, and it'll be all new. So I'm going to cut here, and I'll be back when the beaches are done. Okay guys, so I did a couple of things. I added beaches to most of the islands. I just kind of got sick of it. Obviously this is just a tutorial, and so basically what I did other than that was I definitely intensified the jungle biome. I just tried to see what 100% intensity looked like, and it definitely darkened up the jungle, and so I didn't want to have a sparse jungle, so I went back and on all the green spots. I up the jungle a lot. Actually, yeah, we'll just leave. Okay, so we'll have a different. The main island and a couple of the other islands will have the 100% jungle, and then these little guys down here will have the 50% jungle. So we'll just leave it like that. Also, I left the kind of this mountain little range here we made, and also the tip of the volcano still a little bit less jungly because we don't want as many trees up there. And then I'm going to go back and actually do this stone terrain spray thing again on top of these islands. Yeah, stone. And lower that, and we're just gonna do a little bit of stone over here. There we go. That's actually way too much. Let's lower that to like 20%. Okay, there we go. So let's zoom back out. This is looking pretty good. What else? Oh, I was just remembering. If you want to add any rivers, a good way to do that is to go back to the old noise tool. We're going to go to the up and down tool here, and we're going to, where do we want a river? Let's have this be a little like canal right here. So this, we're going to right click and lower the terrain. Ooh, that's a circle still. Noise, thank you. I thought I clicked that. Oh well. And we're going to go through here and we're just going to connect them. By lowering the land, it'll lower it down to whatever the sea level was eventually, and so then you'll have a little canal here. Yes, it's still jungle biome on top. That green will go away eventually. So then we're going to go back and smooth tool, and we're going to smooth all of that out. So I think that will be enough for our little tutorial world here. Let's get one last F3 look. So there we go, the mountains have a little bit of rock on them, the volcano is lava in it, there's a little canal here. That is looking pretty good. If I were to put a little more time into this, I would probably make the terrain of these smaller islands a little more interesting, but for now this is kind of just a tutorial. So let's close this, let's go to File and Export, and then Export as New Minecraft Map. And this, if you have your Minecraft saved in regular folders, it will actually export it directly into the saves folders. You don't even have to move the map, so this is super easy. Underground material we're going to leave as stone mix, which will be just like regular terrain. In normal Minecraft worlds, we're going to move the water level. We're going to make it a water border, and we're going to move it. Okay, so it is at 90. So this is what we had our water level at in the first stage. Got the name here. You can change the name again. You can actually change the file location. Bottomless world, no. We'll leave the ceiling height. Leave the depth, whatever. World border, we don't want that. Include chest of goodies, we don't want that. We're going to do creative, so we can fly around. Allow cheats, obviously peaceful. And that will work for that. Caverns and chasms, you can change the frequency of those. I'm not going to mess with that. Resources, you could even mess with that. Other layers, we're going to leave that, and then the custom layers, I don't really know what that is. So we're going to export the world, and this takes a little bit of time, but once that is done, I'm going to open up Minecraft and show you our new world. Alright, so here we are in the world. One thing right off the bat, I think one thing I would change is I would definitely decrease the intensity of the jungle. Yeah, it's a little too lush for me. You can't actually even see the terrain, but you can kind of see it peeking through. So basically it's just a wall of enormous jungle trees. I did not know it would be that intense. But the beaches, as you can see, even though because I accidentally kind of peppered them with a lighter version of the jungle tree preset there, it kind of gave these little bushes, which is kind of nice. I like that. It kind of breaks up the beach a little bit. So let's head over. This is the main island, obviously, with the bay in the middle there. Cool deep bay right there. That sounded weird. But then we have our mountain range here. It's kind of small. If I were to, again, make this better, I would decrease the trees and maybe make these mountains a little bit more pronounced, a little bigger. But you can see that that kind of 50% stone gradation there. The trees are actually taller than this mountain that I wanted to be kind of epic, so oops. But we're going to head over. Wow, that looks crazy. I think this is the... yeah, so I actually have... oh, I'm not in the fortress. I was going to say I have the mini-map mod installed, but I'm not in the fortress right now. So here is our huge volcano, so we have way too many trees. But if we go up to the top, this is actually pretty cool looking. I'm glad I gave gave the volcano a little bit of the jungle trees, because these bushes really make it look a lot cooler. And then way less towards the top. There's actually some over top of the volcano. Those will burn eventually, but here is the top of the volcano. That looks really cool. So the reason why when I clicked a little bit, if I wanted the lava to be a little bit higher, this stone was here. And so if that were to be blocked off, I could have done the lava up one more, but because it was there, it was like, oh, you wanted to fill this level with lava, so it went basically to where my eyes are now. It filled that up with lava, and that was ridiculous, so we didn't want that. This looks good. This looks really good. I'm really happy how the volcano turned out. It's got a cool little lip there, very circular, and I'm really happy how this turned out. So, I will show you how to decrease stuff. So basically, I haven't really edited much. I haven't really edited anything in this world, so I'm going to just save and quit, and I'll go back into World Painter. So we're back in World Painter. A way to remove most of this stuff is you just go back to biomes. No, terrain. No, layers. There we go. You click on jungle again. You click on the spray. You click on the noise. I'm going to do the noise brush. I'm going to do let's do a 30%. We're just going to make this pretty big. And we're gonna, let's just zoom in here so we can kind of see how it works. Let's go to this main island. So let's right click. Oh no, what am I doing? How did it switch back to that? Anyway, spray, jungle, and then we're gonna, why is it rotated? Oh my goodness, what is going on? We're gonna right click, and that is gonna remove, oh, it's at 100% again. What is going on? I must have like clicked something that undid a bunch of stuff. So we're going to go back down to 20%, roughly, and right click, and that is going to decrease the intensity of the jungle in kind of a random pattern. So there will be eventually the giant tree here or there, but this is going to look a lot better, I think. I'm actually going to raise those mountains if I remember. Oh, I was intensifying it there. Raise those mountains a little bit so they look a little bit better. Leave some of these islands with super jungle though, and maybe like super jungle in the middle. So we'll kind of do a smaller brush here and go around. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. And then it doesn't matter what's in the oceans here. That's gonna be how that's just gonna be normal. It's just gonna be normal water. So now hopefully this is enough jungle. You know, it's not. I didn't take away too much. I think it should be good. These we'll leave like that, and then this we're gonna definitely decrease. That was way too much. I think that'll be good. So let's export again. Actually, no. Let's quick raise these mountains, like I said I was gonna do. Oh, the intensity is too low. There we go. The more verticality you get in your worlds, I think the cooler they look for sure. Alright. Let's just give it a quick F3, or Alt, no, Control 3, not F3. Oh, yeah, those mountains look better. Alright. Alright, everything looks good. So we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to File, Export, and as new Minecraft. And as long as you kept the name of the world the same, it will just replace your old world. Oh, my Minecraft is still open. There we go. Just going to close that. Come on. Okay, anyway, it's being stubborn right now, so, oh, there we go. Minecraft is closed. We're going to export. It should just replace the old world with this one. And there we go. So I'll meet you in the new world. Alright, so here we are, back. We're going to do this world called Example for Video. Hop back in. Hopefully the jungles are not as crazy as they were last time. Oh, we gotta let the world load also. And last time I tried this, it crashed. So, as you can see, the jungle trees are much less and a lot shorter. So this looks way better in my opinion. You can actually see the mountains. Look pretty cool. I'm glad I raised them. So let's head back over to the volcano. Kind of it's not really the centerpiece, but it is the coolest thing on in this world, I think. Is it this way? Yeah, it's this one. So much better gradient. It's not just a wall of jungle trees anymore. I think that looks pretty dang good. Just take a quick peek from the top again. That tree is still there. Yeah, it's gonna burn. There you go. So that is a quick tutorial on World Painter. I hope you liked my examples, and I hope you liked this world that I made. I actually like the smaller one a little bit better, a little bit easier to see everything, you know. This is cool and everything if you want to do like a survival world, but then also, oh yeah, if I wanted the oceans to connect, actually I should have done a square world and not a circular world, but whatever. So you can see the water levels for the rest of the world, and the water levels for my world do connect because we did set them both to 8 or 90. So there you go. I actually do the. No, these have got to be custom jungle trees because it's the bark side on all sides. Also, it's got these roots coming out. So I think they actually do a couple of custom trees, which is cool, which is really cool. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to leave a like, and see you later.